Good morning, all of you. In this class, we are going to discuss with another important topic, that is feelings and emotions. This is chapter 2. So during this age, that what I mean, adolescence, adolescents have mood swings and frequently change their temperament. So they tend to have more intense and wide ranging emotions than children or adults. And they exaggerate their problems as well. So it is common to see adolescents fluctuating between feeling like they are on top of the world one moment and being depressed the next. So these emotional changes affect their school performance, appearance, choice of friends, and their ability to make appropriate life choices. That means your career choice, etc. What you want to do or what you want to be. Okay, so this point we are going to discuss in this chapter. We'll see that. So, your chapter 2, that is from the heart, feelings and you. Do you wonder at these seesaw variations in your moods these days, especially in class ninth and 10th? Sometimes you are bursting with energy, ready and raring to go, and at other times you are very listless and tired. Do sudden bursts of anger, that's the common feeling, okay, anger, unwarranted tears, unrelated sadness, fits of giggles leave you feeling bewildered and somewhat out of control. So there are so many instances in your life, in your school life, in the classroom, playground. Okay, per day you can collect so many things of these. So you can see so many. There are ups and downs of adolescence, and have a very scientific explanation for this. It is very common. So we cannot say nothing wrong in that. It's very common. New growth hormones are being poured into the system of the adolescent. A lot of hormonal changes are taking place. So these hormones, beside causing physical changes, also cause major emotional changes too. Okay. So this is a very important one. So these hormonal changes, beside causing physical changes, also cause major emotional changes. Okay, in the next paragraph, we'll see as a baby, your emotions were confined to good and bad. There are different stages. When you felt good, that is well fed and dry, you played quietly or slept. When you felt bad, that is hungry or wet or uncomfortable in any way, you reacted by crying. In primary school, your vocabulary of feelings had increased too. Okay? Increase to angry, sad, more points you added, happy and bored at this age, ninth class. Now you feel energetic, listless, very often angry, sorrowful, happy, bewildered. That means your mind is wandering somewhere and sometimes even helpless. So you can see the spectrum of feelings, a full dimension, full length of feelings grows until you can feel all the variations from despair to ecstasy. So both very, very grown up feelings. So just recollect, pick up the feelings mentioned in the above paragraph and list them. You can write what are different types of feelings and emotions. Sometimes you are angry, sometimes you are sad, sometimes you are happy. Okay, so many things are there. So when you are hearing me, just pick up three, four feelings mentioned in the above paragraph and list them in your copy. Okay, and we are going for some more points regarding this. Some facts about feelings. Our feelings are an important part of us because they influence the way we think, the way we behave, and the way we live. Very important point. Okay, our feelings, our emotions are important part of us because they influence the way we think, the way we behave, and the way we live. So we'll go to the next important part. Our feelings are an important part of us because they influence the way we think. So this is very important that you get recognized. The way we think, the way we behave, and the way we live. So let us consider a few facts about feelings. Feelings are the spontaneous response of events. Spontaneous response of events, people, things, etc. We cannot choose our feelings. We cannot choose our feelings. We do not always understand or logically agree with our feelings. Some of the characteristics, some of the facts about the feelings. Feelings brings on reactions. Yes, of course, we react certain time. Feelings brings on reactions. Reaction can often be changed to positive actions. Sometimes it can be positive, sometimes it can be negative. We can control our actions. We can control our actions. Sometimes, for example, suppose you are fighting. Okay, you are fighting with someone. You are angry. Okay, feelings have no morality. Actions do. For example, it is not wrong to feel angry. Okay, that is very usual. It is not wrong to feel angry, but to insult someone, okay, to hurt someone, to insult someone because you are angry, that is wrong. To disturb someone because you are angry. That is not correct. That is wrong. So feelings express themselves in body language. You observe others and see what kind of. So the feelings express themselves in a body language. When you are sad, when you are happy, when you are in anger, okay, when you are energetic, so when you are bewildered, wandering your mind, so you can see their body language. Acknowledging our feelings help us to take charge of them. You recognize them. Other point, harboring. If you keep the negative feelings with you, that causes emotional imbalance. Emotional imbalance. Acknowledging our feelings help us to take charge of them, or harboring negative feelings causes emotional imbalance. So these are the very important points that you have to go through. So we repeat major point. This is about the main important points of this part. So I repeat these points. Our feelings and emotions are important part of us because they influence the way we think, the way we behave, and the way we live. Just think about yourself. What's in our mind? Okay, what kind of interaction we are making with others, and the way we live in a family, in a classroom, with surroundings. Very important. What are some facts or characteristics about the feelings? They are spontaneous response of events. So many events are spontaneous response. You have to give certain response. We cannot simply choose our feelings. I want to be only, I want to be happy always, or I want to be angry, and then we cannot choose always these things. We do not always understand or logically agree with our feelings. Feelings bring on reactions, of course. Reactions will be there. Reactions can often be changed to positive actions. We can control our actions, of course, we can. And next point, feelings have no morality. Actions do. For example, it is not wrong to feel angry. That is a very important point you can write. If somebody is angry, don't think, it's not a gone case. No, nothing wrong. But to insult someone because you are angry, that is not correct. That's wrong. Feelings express themselves in body language. So by observing you, one can easily recognize in what kind of response or mind is going on. Acknowledging our feelings help us to take charge of them, and harboring negative feelings that you recognize. Okay, if you are thinking always negative, negative feeling causes emotional imbalance. You can see another important point here, feelings and your behavior. Of course, feelings influence our behavior. The following illustration clearly show this. Feelings, okay, prompted by external stimulus. Reaction, prompted by feeling, partial control on us. Action, prompted by thought or reflection or control. We can control. So, three important point feelings influence our behavior. The following illustrations, you can see that feelings prompted by external stimulus. There is no control for that. Sometimes you cry, sometimes you are feeling sad, sometimes you are happy. Reaction that is prompted by your feeling. So partial control is there on that. What is action? So prompted by thought, reflection, control. And we'll see. So adolescence, especially, it's a time of emotional stress. In the school, or at home or different other places. This is because adolescents become increasingly independent and their desire often clashes with elders. So adolescents are inclined to take risk, whereas their elders are interested in their safety. Okay, usually so because of that, you can see a behavior issue and rebellion is very common. However, although it is unwelcome, their defiance is necessary in order for the adolescent's unique identity to emerge and become a perfect adult. So, these are not part of life, and we are to see the different ways of recognizing them. Now, we are going to read some of the instances. So, read the following sentences carefully and just recognize what about your feeling, reaction, and what will be the reflected action. Okay, certain activities we'll see. So, we can think about that. Just for an example, the taxi you are in is being driven recklessly. What all things are happening here? Will you be angry in this case? Suppose you are in a taxi, okay, and the driver is driving very recklessly. Naturally, so we will get angry. And also, why we are getting angry? Because we are afraid and we are very anxious for our safety too. So, so many things involving that. So, we are in anger during this action. If a driver is driving very recklessly, and just behind that, you will see that we are slightly afraid also. Why? We have to see our safety, and we are anxious too, in consideration with our safety. So we'll see some instances here, and we recognize what things are all happening here. It's a common experience in the classroom or outside in a society. So we'll see that. You can see the read the following sentences carefully option. Okay, read the following sentences and see some of the instances. The second one I explained here: the taxi you are in is being driven recklessly. Okay. First one, the teacher scolds you in front of the entire class, the whole class. So, what will be your stimulus? What is the feeling, reaction, and reflected action? So, you can think about what all things will happen. The taxi you are in is being driven recklessly. Someone stamps your foot in a crowded bus. What kind of stimulus you will get? What kind of feeling and reaction you will do? You smell the freshly baked cake your mother has put on the table. Wow. The fat man walking in front of you trips and falls. Oh, very sad. You say, you feel. The baby from next door makes a mess in your room. Oh, you are walking past gates and a dog barks at you from inside. What will be your stimulus and feeling? Someone calls to say that you have won a prize of Rs 5,000, for example, for your scholarship, something like that. So, what kind of feeling you? You can just go through the sentences. And what kind of reaction you face, what will be reflected action in all the cases. Sometimes you are angry, sometimes you are sad, sometimes you are afraid, sometimes you are anxious, sometimes you are jealous, sometimes you are inadequate, sometimes you feel lonely, okay, and sometimes you feel rejected, sometimes you are very happy, okay, because you appreciated some, and sometimes you are happy because you love some others. So many points you can see. Someone calls you to say that you have won a prize of 5,000 rupees. Very important things. So you are very happy to receive a prize because you feel or I feel appreciated for your work. Appreciated. So you have to make a note of these sentences. The teacher scolds you in front of the entire class. What are you feeling? Sudden stimulus, angry, reaction, becomes restless. The taxi you are in is being driven again recklessly. Again, you are in anger because you want to consider safety and you are anxious too. Someone stamps your foot in a crowded bus. Oh, again, you are in anger. So you smell the freshly baked cake your mother has put on the table. Oh, very nice, happy. The fat man walking in front of you trips and falls. We feel very sad. So many things. Feelings we are getting, emotions. So you have to write this in the copy. So you can see different common emotional patterns in adolescence, just like love and affection, joy, pleasure, delight, worry of imaginary fear, something going to happen, anxious, that means anxiety. Home worries are real problems, fear of material objects or animals. That is also comes under this. Failure of material objects, teasing by teachers, parents, elders, and in your group, and being unfairly treated. So many things are involving in this in your way. So next one, we'll see what are emotions. What are emotions? When feelings become strong enough to take charge of our behavior and our thinking, they become emotions. These are very important points in this. So that is in the next page we share definition of emotions. Okay? Yes, this is another important part. When feelings become strong enough to take charge of our behavior and our thinking, they become our emotions. So, emotions are dangerous when they begin to control us to the extent of overriding our common sense and wisdom. Emotions are dangerous when they begin to control us to the extent of overriding our common sense and wisdom. Therefore, we must learn to take charge of our feelings. That is very important concern. Okay, we must learn to take charge of our feelings, to take care of our feelings, how to control. So today, an important concern is for EQ, emotional quotient. Tests have become as important as IQ, intelligence quotient test. So both are equally important. So dear students, you have to see this. So emotional quotient test have become as important as intelligence quotient test, IQ test, not only intelligence. So it is a fact that emotionally stable persons are more reliable, productive, and easier to handle than volatile persons. It's a very powerful message that today we are giving to you. Very important one. So when feelings become strong enough to take charge of your behavior or our thinking, they become our emotions. And emotions are dangerous when they begin to control us to the extent of overriding our common sense and wisdom. So we must learn to take control or charge of our feelings. So not only IQ and EQ is also an important measure. This is because emotionally stable persons are more reliable, protective, and easier to handle than volatile persons. What is the meaning of volatile? That means quickly they become angry, restless. So this kind of feeling that means easily these things, volatile persons. Okay. Why a volatile person is less reliable? No, sometimes the accuracy of work may not be there. To keep emotions under control, what all things mentioned here? Recognize feelings. Okay, to keep emotions under control. To keep emotions under control, what we have to do? Recognize your feelings. I'm so angry. Okay. I'm happy. I'm very sad. So we have to recognize the feelings. Second point, what we have to do? Take charge of them. Control. I must try to control my anger. This is very important in today's world. Very important. So recognize the feeling, especially in the book it is mentioned here, especially for angry. That is the main reason for all the things. Recognize feeling. Example, say I am so angry, etc. Take charge of them. Control. I must try to control. Then after that, what you'll do? Take positive action to deal with them. Positive action to deal with them. I will try and talk to her or him about it. What happens? After controlling. So very important steps you have to recognize. So on the screen you will see these points to keep emotions under control. Of course, it is a problem of adolescence. Nothing wrong in that, but take charge of them and deal with them appropriately. So that is the most important thing. Okay. What are the to keep control, emotions under control? What you have to do? Recognize your feelings. Of course, take charge of them. I must try to control my anger. Take positive action to deal with them. I will try and talk to him or her about that point and settle the matter. That is the things. Settle the matter. So this is the way we have to control your feelings. Recognizing the feelings. Okay, we'll see. How can you recognize the feeling? We can break up. some points are given here. We can break up our feelings into recognizable feelings and hidden feelings. Easily we can recognize, one can recognize from outside, and there are hidden feelings too. Okay, we can break up our feelings into recognizable feelings and hidden feelings. The recognizable feelings surface on top, that you just recognize as anger, joy, sorrow, happiness, all the things come under this. Hidden feelings lie behind the feelings of anger, happiness, sadness, etc. Therefore, we often fail to identify them. So, some examples are here to recognize. So, we can break up our feelings into two categories. One is recognizable feelings and hidden feelings. The recognizable feelings surface on top. One can easily recognize that. That is your anger, your joy, your sorrow, you are happy, etc. Hidden feelings lie behind them. Feelings of the anger, happiness, sadness, etc. Therefore, we often fail to identify them. So, some examples are given there. Read the following examples and then give examples your own. First point, I was angry at his reckless driving. You can recall the sentences we have seen earlier. The driver is driving very recklessly. So, I was angry at this case. Yes, of course. And why? This is because I was afraid and I was anxious for my safety. Two things are there. You are angry. Why? And inside you are afraid and you are anxious. Another important thing, I was angry when he or she got the job because I felt jealous and inadequate. This is a common. When others are getting high position, sometime. See, I was angry when he got the job because the reason is there. The reason in your inside. This is inside feeling. That means you are jealous from inside. You are not happy in that. You are jealous, and so you are becoming inadequate. You are not proper. Okay, you are not proper. Other things. I am sad that she has gone away because I feel lonely. This also happens in adolescence. Okay, good friendship. So I am sad that she has gone away because I feel lonely. So these are some techniques to recognize the feelings. That means a recognizable feeling, you can see that you will be on the surface on top. You can just recognize angry, anger, joy, sorrow, happy, etc. But there are hidden feelings too. Okay. So these are the main points of this chapter. Next class we will continue with some more important points regarding the emotions, how to handle them. So how to especially handle. We'll check ourselves regarding different feelings. Okay. Thank you.